After weeks of building tension, the Pentagon says a Russian invasion has started.
Russia has now begun invading Ukraine.
The war we're fighting today didn't start in 2022. It began the moment Russian forces invaded Crimea in 2014. The Maidan protests led to Russian forces seizing Ukrainian territory during the time of disarray and confusion in the Ukrainian government. Russian forces quickly took advantage of Ukraine's chaos and seized Crimea in 2014. It wasn't long before the Russian invaders began backing and supporting anti-Kiev protests in the east of the country, till Russia eventually sent their troops to rally support for minority armed groups that had begun to take over local police stations. What followed was an almost decade-long conflict between Ukraine and Russian-backed forces in the east. Our destination is the Donbass region of eastern Ukraine, where since 2014, militants supported by the Russian Federation have seized control of the region and established a proxy state. Myself and other foreigners from all over the world joined the Ukrainian Marines to fight the Russian-backed separatists. Alongside myself was Sean, my mate who had served with in Syria, and Alex, an American US Army veteran with a combat deployment in Afghanistan, as well as other foreigners who wished to remain unnamed. We'd all served in the Ukrainian military for a while, and would be the first Western foreigners to complete Ukrainian airborne training and earn the Ukrainian Marine Beret. Anyone who wanted to become a Ukrainian paratrooper would have to complete a 2-week training program. This included how to pack parachutes, passing a written exam, and successfully completing 5 jumps. The footage you're seeing was taken during my second deployment to the front line. It spun roughly 9 months of filming, a few months before Putin declared his special military operation in February of this year. I was able to recover the majority of what I had filmed, but after the invasion, I lost a good portion of the footage I had after Mariupol. At the front lines, we faced numerous challenges. Living conditions were similar to those experienced by our forefathers during World War I. No running water, weather that would gradually wear you down, and people ahead of you that want to kill you, and constant maintenance of the trench.
You dig like you lick pussy, mate. Just all over the shop. Fucking animal, flip.
With temperatures dropping to -20 in the winter months, staying warm in the trench was a daily task. A normal day's routine would involve us doing the day's chores, whether that was digging trenches, collecting wood to keep the fire burning, or burning the trash pits.
What you doing there, Aiden?
Spotting, peeping.
What is that you're holding in your hand?
A periscope.
Periscope. Trench periscope. What do you see out there?
Nothing.
Just fields of grass.
Yep.
To be fair though, there's an enemy position 300 meters in that direction.
28, well, 100 meters that way.
Let's see if I can take a look out here. I don't want to get shot in the face by a fucking sniper. For the video, here we go.
And the one on the right side as well.
Yeah, so there's one on the right, like 300 meters out there, straight ahead, and then there's one to the left, right?
Yeah.
Right behind that tree line. Try to focus. There's another position called Cisco, where they got 23mm guns, 50 cal Dishikas, recoilless rifles, the whole 9 yards. Plus I heard it's fortified by cement and rebar.
Yeah, we've got this one here as well.
Yeah, and then we got out this window, yep. We got another position, it's like 200 meters in that direction,
I'd
right?
say 100.
100? And they've been digging a trench, they've been coming closer to us.
So far, 6 months here, we've seen diddly. And we work every day, the vain attempt that we might see some movement somewhere. Everybody else, last night, including last night, is getting the fight. Everybody. And here, it's what they call Tishina, which is silent. So we just watch everybody else working, and we are the river police.
Life for a soldier on any front line can be demanding. For us, this could mean digging for hours in between guard shifts and then volunteering to go on the weekly logistic run behind the line to get your supplies for your position. Of course, this also meant carrying the majority of it from your drop-off point to your trench system.
Придется автомат скидывать, кому нахуй нужны эти корабли. Потом будет тепло, надо лодку от грязи почистить.
Да.
Ты что делаешь? From London,
How old are you?
NA.
And what's your previous experience?
Being cold. Oh, I've got lots of experience in being cold. I've been cold many a time.
Any military background?
I was in the British Army. I was in the Kurdistan Workers' Party for a while. Al-Shabaab, Jaish al-Islam, al-Nusra.
And how long have you been serving in the Ukrainian Marines?
Almost 2 years now, isn't it? Over a year. How long you got?
We've got 7 months left.
Yeah, so just under 2 years, or a few months under 2 years.
And compared to the first rotation, what do you think of this new ceasefire?
It's fucking dog shit. It's not just a ceasefire, is it? It's everything that comes with the ceasefire. So the people's not as keen to participate with the war. So that means we suffer with everything. So we suffer with money, funding, just general support. You know, if people are looking at a ceasefire, people don't support the war as much. If people don't support the war as much, we suffer. So, buy war bonds.
Do you think it's worth it?
Do I think what's worth it being here?
Yeah, being in this trench right now.
Well, yeah, if you're not here, obviously, the enemy come forward, and same for them. If they're not there, we go forward, so you have to be here. That's all you have to do, really. You just have to be here.
Well,
it's not about shooting and killing and fucking attacking and defending. It's just manning a trench is enough, you know, just being active in an area, so it stops people coming into that area.
what would you be doing if you weren't in this trench right now?
I'd be sat in a wooden cabin that I built in my parents' garden, drinking famous grouse every night, the cheapest beer I can buy, fat, messaging girls at 4 AM on Facebook asking if they're up. That was one hell of a life.
The language barrier between English and Ukrainian speakers was always a problem for every foreigner in the beginning. However, we quickly overcame this by gradually adapting and learning the language.
Nobody's saying anything. Keep it up and in. Chukai, say the message again. I don't understand that bird.
Madrid. Yes, decoy.
She's having a go at him for not coming back. This fucking language thing is a fucking nightmare. I don't know how we get through. We somehow manage to wing it through. We understand what they're saying. We have problems talking it. There's English guys dotted all over the shop. But somehow we managed to wing it for 6 months. Nobody's ever had a go at us about not being able to talk fucking language, communicate or anything. I don't know how we fucking do it. Because we're fucking immense, that's why.
So tell me, how long have you been serving in Ukraine?
Well, I've been here 3 years. This is my 3rd tour on the in Donbass and Donetsk. Previously served in Pesky, Novolykansk, Svetlodarsk, and now Pavlapol, just outside Mariupol.
And what do you think of the current situation with the ongoing war?
Personally, I think we should just destroy all the separatists. I don't like this ceasefire. This ceasefire is a bit one-sided. The Seps seem to be firing when they want, and we're restricted and meant to just take the shit they dish out.
So just regarding the ceasefire that you mentioned, last August Zelensky introduced the new ceasefire, bringing in the agreements and punishments for both sides. What is your take on that when you further inquire?
Well, we seem to be more restricted than they are. They're letting rounds off every day. Mortars, artillery, PKM, AGS, and we're told to just take the shit. So I don't think it's working, and every day, as you know, there's been shooting and artillery.
What do you think the future is for this war?
I have no idea.
Or where do you see yourself in 5 years?
The way it's going at the moment, it'll still be like this in 5 years. At some point, someone's got to take an advantage or broker a ceasefire, but this ceasefire is not working. I can't see what Zelensky's plan is. I think eventually you'll end up having to go back to fighting again. So it's a difficult one to call. I think too many people are making money out of this, I think, personally, to let this war stop.
Do you think it's comparable to Transnistria and Abkhazia?
Can't comment on that, don't know too much about Transnistria. But I know, obviously, it's an enclave in Moldova because I've been there. But I don't know, to be honest. It's Ukraine's territory. Ukraine should be trying to win it back as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot more to it than that, obviously, but at the end of the day, it's Ukraine. You can't just have people popping up saying, this is mine, I want it, and caving in and not fighting for it.
Do you think it's worth it, or should Ukraine call it a day and just give up the land?
No, I think we should fight for it. Take it all back. It's Ukraine's and Crimea. That's what I'm here for.
Despite the ongoing war, civilians go about their daily lives as usual. Locals from the surrounding villages would try to creep close to our shoreline during periods when the river would freeze over to fish. Since the battle lines were drawn, these bodies of water had long been abandoned. One of our daily tasks was to ensure that the local civilians did not venture too close to our side of the river, both for safety and security. Fuck it out. What? Is that our guys?
Two from across there.
Let's see if we can see them.
This is the problem we got. Jamming link across the river, eh?
I presume if they're standing on it. Spending so much time together in such a small space fosters a brotherhood which any serving or former military member can attest to.
In the Atto, we have something called a bomsh. It's a bit like a homeless person.
Here's a prime example.
Times one, bomsh. Look, it's bomsh. It's bomsh. It's bomsh. It's stupid, the guy.
You're ugly.
Not what your mom said. Here, come check out this baby right here. Look at this monster. Oh my god, isn't she gorgeous?
Надо, щоб воно не пригорало.
Got premeditated in the first degree capital offense in Florida.
Yeah, they're trying to get him on that, saying you plan this shit. You know?
They're insane. Insane people that don't make rational decisions.
What point you go, oh, that's a really good idea, Sean. I reckon we should kill 2 people for $3,000.
You think they're gonna give old Sparky or the lethal injection?
Can you choose?
Yeah, you can. Some states can.
I'd go Sparky all the way.
No, just go out with a bang, you know?
Yeah, like that. Like that lethal injection shit.
Yeah, I don't want to be treated like a dog in my last moments.
I want to laugh my head off as they electrocute and go, ah! Just give them all fucking PTSD for the rest of their lives ever.
Like, what's your last words? All right, gentlemen, let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder what he's gonna eat for his last supper.
Oh, steak all the way. What would you have for your last supper?
Pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, pizza.
Oh.
Скажи, будь ласка, что ты думаешь об этом конфликте?
Я думаю, в будущем он перерастет в партизанскую войну. Это необходимо, потому что на официальном уровне он будет заморожен по примеру Приднестровья, Абхазии, Южной Осетии и аналогичных конфликтов у нас в Европе. Заморожен при температуре минус 30. Я думаю, народу нужно брать бразды правления в свои руки. Это все, Кабан.
И где ты был, когда начался Майдан?
В то время мы путешествовали по соседней Белоруссии, выехали на Киев и принимали участие.
И потом что делать?
А потом, спустя считанные месяцы, выехали на Приазовье.
И что...
В летнее время, когда потеплело. Зимой холодно, это неудобно, как сейчас.
Что ты думаешь, Янукович?
Это прошлое.
Что ты будешь делать?
Ну, я не говорю о себе, я думаю, нам в целом нужно разворачивать оружие на Киев, идти через Киев по трассе Одесса-Санкт-Петербург в сторону Москвы, поворачивать на восток, вниз на юг, на Кубань. Я думаю, это разумное решение.
Сколько лет тебе, когда война стартует?
19 лет.
И куда? Ты куда?
Сюда, на Донбас.
Не, когда война работа.
Я волонтер с Платунс.
Скажи, будь ласка, сколько долго служил в украинской армии?
11 лет.
И где служил
с 14 года от Рождества Христова.
Где сектор?
Где сектор? В основном сектор М. Приазовское побережье,
И,
Донецкий регион.
И что ты думаешь, новый пирамиды и Зеленский?
Перемирие, Кабан.
Зеленский пирамиды.
Ну, я думаю, это полный пиздец.
Почему?
Ну, потому что мы не имеем последственного продолжения конфликта. Застряли в траншеях, как немцы под Сталинградом.
Да. И как это конфликт...
Айсинг отступит.
Понятно. Скажи, будь ласка, какой идеологии? Россия, скажи, все украинский человек, наци або фашист. Скажи, будь ласка, правда.
Это пиздеж. Говоря о идеологии, о моей ідеології?
Да.
О моей?
Да, ти.
Це філософське питання. Я отвечу словами нашего прошлого президента Виктора Федоровича Януковича, который, отвечая на вопрос, почему вы просили господина Путина ввести войска на территорию украинского государства, ответил таким образом. Це філософське питання, говоря о ідеології. А я не філософ, на жаль. Это все.
Even though our deployment was coming to an end, we would be deployed to the front lines again 8 months later, where we would witness the chaos firsthand when Russia launched a full-scale attack across Ukraine on February 24th. We would be forced to retreat from our positions in Pavlapol to the city of Mariupol at the Ilichar steelworks, where I, along with other Ukrainian military and volunteer units, would stand to defend Mariupol against overwhelming odds. Myself and other Ukrainian military personnel eventually surrendered or were captured. We were beaten, tortured, tried in kangaroo courts, and even sentenced to death. In September, myself and Sean, along with other members of the Ukrainian military, were exchanged in a prisoner swap. With that said, my freedom is easy for my family, but the families of those still held in captivity are still in pain. Our brothers and sisters from the Ilichar steelworks and elsewhere in Ukraine are still being held captive. And in the end, Ukraine will not stop fighting until this war is over, and we will not forget those who are still in captivity.